Okay, let me precursor this by saying this is a boomer ass old head take. I absolutely hated the stoppage of the game last night, mid-game Sully for LeBron. I hated it so much. I am a huge proponent of celebrate the moment, share the moment, put something on the video board in between quarters, then do all that after the game. I was not a fan of that at all. I hate when media come onto the floor in the middle of a game, at the end of a game, at the end of an NBA title, stuff like that. The sport is about the players and their teammates. Celebrate amongst your teammates. Celebrate that. Dap them up. Call a timeout. Have a huge eruption and whatever from the crowd. And then save all that other shit for after the game. That's my stance on this whole LeBron thing. I feel the same way about the way in which championships should be given out. You don't give them out to the owner. You give it out to the captain of the team, the MVP. Like the NHL does it right. No media on the ice. They all celebrate, smile together.
The only difference between your championship take and this is how many times does a guy break the all-time scoring record in the NBA? But
I totally agree.
I will then say I have not seen it. I don't know. And I can just assume with the way LeBron has been doing extra things that it's just been, you know what I mean? I will say we don't have to get into it or it'll probably be another Charlie Hennigan thing, but the amount of LeBron hate just now that I've seen on the internet that has just gone like just totally not even to that moment. And I'm not even saying that moment at all. Totally disregard that. Cause again, I haven't seen it. Just everything about everything and all this and all he went to win rings and all I'm just like, holy crap, man. Like we just simply cannot appreciate greatness. And then it all comes back to like Jordan. Like, I don't know how many times this need to be brought up. I feel like it does every time. The dude went to 9 straight finals appearance with 2 different teams. He went with them with the Cavs, said, nah, let me go to the Miami Heat, and then came back and still did it. Like, it's just, I mean, it's something. Anyway,
for my money, he's the greatest basketball player to ever live and stuff like that. I'm such an old head. I'm such an old school guy.
I'll have to watch it.
That I'm just kind of like, I hate how self-aware these guys are now of like, we're celebrity and we're star first, we're athlete second. And I understand that his life is like completely different. I could never, ever relate to it. Like he has had the Justin Bieber effect of a life cycle. Like he has had a camera in his face since he was 13 years old.
Came from legitimately nothing and look what he did. Like, and the one thing I will say, like I enjoy LeBron. Like again, I'm not going to stand up for all the side. I enjoyed the little arc of a career, but like for a guy that's like had the spotlight from that moment, man, has he done everything like right off the court, basically, besides the one little thing I guess you can do with all the shoes and China and all that, but like. He's done everything right, and he's lived up to it, and then some. Like he's had the ultimate. It's incredible. It's just truly incredible. Like
I'm not hating on LeBron in any regard. I just found the moment itself pretty. I found the moment itself.
How long did it stop the game for? Was it like a 20-minute break?
Minutes? 10 minutes,
like 10 minutes. It was hilarious.
10 minutes.
Like
because they've done that.
If you have level-headed people on your Twitter timeline that like don't take it too seriously, but also just like celebrate the moment, but also realize like how hilarious it is that like we're stopping the game, we're doing the Kareem handing the basketball. Like he doesn't want to do that. He hates that. That was so corny. Like it was so silly. It was so silly, but it definitely deserves. Like I think the execution was not good, but it definitely deserves that level of celebration. No doubt.
What point of the game was it at?
Like that's Barry Bonds. There was 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
Okay, so the context into that, it's like, okay, you could have honestly waited to ran out for the third quarter, and then as you transition to the fourth, kind of just use that time to do it there, and that would have been like or just waited till the end of the game, like John said. Yeah, like. Like, because I was at the Brett Favre game when he broke the record for the most passing touchdowns, and they stopped the game. I was at Monday night, and they like stopped it. He came out and they was going like this, and they brought everyone on and was doing the cameras and legitimately like stopped it. Granted, he threw a touchdown when he did it, so like the game kind of stopped itself, but like they a good amount. But yeah.
Other guys were bringing up the Breeze one, like Steven's bringing up the Breeze one and that sort of stuff. I don't know. I just I'm an old school guy like this, man. He breaks the record. Let the shot live on in infamy. Share it. Have your full pregame thing on Thursday. You know what I mean? Like Thursday, you want to do the pass the ball, you want to do the commissioner, do it at the start of the game on Thursday, right?
I think that makes more sense. I don't think there's anything wrong with like your tweet about the situation though, John. Like you had just fun, like it was just. It was a little bit fun with it. It was a little bit absurd. I think we can all admit it was just a teensy bit absurd, but like obviously awesome. Like that's Barry Bonds level shit. Like that is really cool. And I think that's what made it so funny too. Is like that is so LeBron to do this. That is so LeBron. Like,
I just saw the tweet where he just literally goes like, is it me or what did he like?
Yeah, maybe it's me or
maybe it's me. Like we know who LeBron is. We know.
Yeah, like I love that he's a cornball. That's what makes LeBron the best because he's just like a good guy and he's super corny.
We know more about like LeBron James. Like life and everything, then I feel like anyone else that's possible. Like from the moment this dude has from 13 to now, like tweeting everything. Where like in his life, he has documentaries. It's like, oh yeah, it's like LeBron. He's just one of the guys, one of the buds. Like I know him. Like
it's very interesting life he's lived. It's pretty nuts.
This was the one I kept coming back to because like people were flooding the mentions a little bit with like but they stopped the game for Breeze and stuff like that. I'm like, Brady holds like every single record and they didn't do shit.
Whatever. He's got more football to play.
Yeah.
Still more.
Yeah. Let's jump into Hoop Streets. We gave everybody the script. We told everyone the script yesterday. Did we not?
John, when are people gonna open their eyes and understand that we are hoops guys and we know real hoopers when we see them? But I do want to give hats off to Numi because he big cashed last night and he didn't give in to the Cam Thomas hype. I love that he did it without Cam Thomas. Like I was so proud.
Newbie, I was so ready to just call you a fraud because I thought you'd have Cam Thomas in your 5th place lineup 100% of the time. I thought he was the guy you needed, and the fact that you didn't and you held strong, it was incredible.
I was frantically looking when I saw that. It was like halftime, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to stay up for that. Like I just can't sweat anymore. Like I get up so early. It's perfect. I just go to bed.
It's good for your life.
It's lovely. It's lovely. So I'll just wake up at like whatever and see. But that was fun to see. If LeBron just wanted to get like a couple more extra things, could have made it a little more extra, little cash. So it's just that would have been nice. But we were there. Freezer had a lineup that at one point like everyone had these small amounts of slivers left, and the dude had like half a bar, if not more, and was in first by 20 points. And I'm like, excuse me, sir? I was like, wait, what? Like. That is a lineup I have not like. I should have took a screenshot of that. That was incredible. But yeah, Cam Thomas, from a guy that like legitimately went from having a 50% true shooting, 40%. I think it was like 49% on the season. Mm-hmm. Decided to go, nah, sir. We're gonna go 72, 71, and 74% in his last game's true shooting. So. Yeah, what can I say? Cam Thomas, certified MVP now. Put him in the conversation. I don't know why we're not talking about it. It's kind of a disgrace at this point. He's putting that team on his back. Don't even know if they're winning, to be honest with you. But
me neither, right?
He's putting the team on his back.
Fantasy Guru Drew from FTN and a guy that I go back in the day with the poker and the DFS streets. Really good DFS NBA guy. Threw out a tweet. last night about he's like I feel so sorry for LeBron, who worked 20 years to break this scoring record just to have Cam Thomas break it in 2 weeks. It's like that's what it feels like right now.
I mean, it's incredible. If you just look at his game logs, like it's like playing the. I'm totally fine with playing the fade, because like if you just win, it's like if you win on any. Yeah, it's like, so like if you go on any game log, it's just he goes from having these spurts of like, he has a nice 80% true shooting, but it's like barely on imminent shots, but it's all 33. And then he just goes from 81, 73, 73. Yeah. And then gets freaking 31 free throws in his last games. It's like he's James Harden-esque out here. It's incredible.
Give him the green light, man. Cam Thomas with the green light.
There's no one else. There's no one else with the light. Everyone else has a yield, and he's just out there with a double green. They're just like, keep hucking, please.
Oh, you love it. Huge NBA slate today. There's been a lot of chatter, like 4 price points, 4 different contests. Going to be a fun day of drafting. But there's been a lot of chatter about the payout structure. Payout structure did change for the Wobnesday, as I like to call it. For here, it's top heavy. It's 9K up top. They got kind of rid of this middle tier of the flatter stuff. Chad did kind of a deep dive comparing his own results from the previous 2 nights where he's done really well and max entered to what his results would look like with this payout structure. And as you would tend to think or know, they dropped considerably because he did not have a first place prize in there. And what held them to only being about $100, $133 different between the 2 structures was propped up by the fact that he had a 3rd place in there. And we can see the difference between 3rd and 5th being $1,000. So if that just drops a bit further there, his results are going to look considerably different. Anyways, it's we've talked about this at length. I saw the Discord going off about it in terms of like, this is good, healthy discourse to be having. As grinders who are going to be putting in 150 most nights or trying to get up over the 50 threshold, we always are going to come out on the side of the pendulum that we want flatter payout structures, right? That's just going to be how it is. But I commend Underdog for experimenting to trying different things like this to see how their fill rates get adjusted by a higher number at the top. They're working through so many different things on their own back end that we don't necessarily understand, like what they understand that we as the hardos like the flat stuff. They're also experimenting on their end. What fills more contests? What pushes us as hardos to the $100 contest and the 25, and then we fill this with more recreationals, right? So there's a lot of layers to it. So I just say to like, I know we can react and we can react emotionally and this sort of thing. I just say like, dial it back, long view picture of this, be happy that they're experimenting. Do we like it for tonight? Probably not. But, come on, let's all just, talk about it in a diplomatic fashion and then move forward with it. And that's not me just trying to be like an underdog stan. It's just me trying to articulate the entire situation across everything, right?
Yeah, and like with these new $10 best ball contests for golf and baseball, it's 20% of the prize pool to first. That's more than Wob than this Wob contest. And I know it's different because it's a daily versus like a season long and with different goals and what they're experimenting with. But just saying, like, it's not 20%, but it is a lot. And I do understand why the people in our community are upset, like you said. But let's see if it feels quick, man. Like, there's really not shit you can say, you know. Like they gotta make money, and there's different ways to do that. To we're a lot of us are gonna play this regardless. So.
Right. Yeah. For me, on like a personal level, like I'm obviously less inclined to. I was kind of planning like I'd get my 100 in today. Now I'm kind of like, do I like the slate? Like, you know what I mean? Like it becomes more of a question mark for me. But I mean, Granted, I will probably still play, right? Like it's a fun slate to draft. It's I'm not gonna be complaining tomorrow if I got that 9K, right? So yeah. Numi, any added thoughts there, or should we just talk about the slate?
Yeah, just as a volume player of like the last 2 months, once they made it flatter, I will not be playing much volume on the main one and shifting to, if I do full courts and the dunks, and just kind of putting it in there. Yeah, it's just that drastic drop off from, I think, 10th to 11th is just it just makes it literally makes putting in volume, like you have to come in those places, and then again, like you still have to like whatever, get what 7th or 8th to get your money back or anything like that. Yeah, so it's just tough. It's tough if you just don't get that, and now that they increase, and it's just tough to get a top 10 or lineup regardless. So
True.
I mean, it's all just variance once you get into the top 100. So yeah,
we're talking about fractions of points, but we're talking about hundreds of buy-ins, right?
Yes.
So it becomes like,
yeah,
hey, the
I mean,
difference in one rebound is the ability to max enter the following day.
a guy steps
Like,
out of bounds. A guy steps the last game. A guy steps out of bounds when it's going to happen, but a guy steps out of bounds and gets a turnover, and now it's a big drop versus like a negligible scene. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, it's not that big of a drop, but all of a sudden now it's like, whoa, like I just dropped out of 10th to 11th, and that's like nearly 450 something or whatever. It's a large drop. So yeah, it just hurts. Yeah. It hurts to put in volume, but I mean, yeah, like you said, I'll still do like the same approach like I do kind of the larger, these like the NFL contests, where I'll put in 10, 20 and just kind of play them like that, and not really worry about a portfolios per se. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Well, I'll just have my guys and not worry about what exposures come out to them.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Let's talk about the slate specifically, because I do think it's a pretty fun slate. There's a lot of fun games on this one. We have 2 nationally televised games. We have Philly at Boston, and I lead with that because that makes me less and less worried about the Embiid Q tag at the front end of drafts. The fact that it is the first of the nationally televised game, and then the second one is Clippers and Dallas. And that's has the lowest total on the slate, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, we're going to see, we're told we're going to see Kyrie's debut, and it's going to be the Christian Wood show. That's all I got. That's all I got there. But back-to-backs, Minnesota's the only team. Gobert played a super limited role last night. But we got revenge game narrative with Minnesota, the Walker Kessler versus Rudy Gobert head to head there. And then, some of the big Q tags on the slate are Washington late. That's why I led with Porzingis as the cover boy, center versus Charlotte, plus Kuzma and Beal Q tags at the back end of drafts that seem decently legitimate Q tags, because Beal missed last game as well. Anything else, gentlemen, here? Totals, game environments. What do you guys like in looking at?
Gafford in a full court press. That's what I like.
I like that. I like it.
Maybe not the Wob. Maybe not the Wob, but in a full court press, Gafford. Obviously.
Yeah, and I will say, for anyone looking at this going like Rudy doesn't have a Q, this is he doesn't have it on this site, but we're expecting per usual, once we get the injury report, that we're gonna get the Rudy Q. We've been getting it all the time, so they're just like preemptively putting the Q on there, and I'm going with it. So like we're gonna get it, and then some more can happen. So that's just to note about that. But he doesn't officially have that Q tag. So if we get Minnesota report and he's good to go, wow, hallelujah. But yeah,
as a medium volume player, I feel like my strategy is just like always take Rudy and then just like wait for when he goes off.
It's tough because that's a nice way, because it's tough because like you're like, oh, I'm gonna get like a guy that's projecting well up there. Otherwise, it's a swap, but it's like he can project well of all he wants. He's like now turning into a Ben Simmons. It's like, do you really want to click this guy regardless if he's going to be in there? Yeah, man, it's tough. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Otherwise, yeah, it's a fun slate. just going to be interesting to see the Kyrie. I think if you go to Dallas and like Clippers, it's just going to be two slower pace games. Clippers have a good defense, so that's just going to be a compared to these other track meets type things. So
yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, especially when you have Kawhi and Paul out there and George out there for lengths of time, they both put the clamps on.
Yeah. And then the cover boy too. That's all I want to touch on is the center versus Charlotte. In our power forward center, he's a 7-footer versus Charlotte. So in Kristaps, and you have the Q tags of Kuzma and Beal. So regardless of like, it's tough because he's one of the guys where I want to say like if you take him at his price tag, which I think is like a 6 ADP. Like he's one of the guys that you would normally think, oh, he's gonna get it's like 6.7. So he's gonna get a negative impact if Kuzma and Beal come back. So it's like, do you want to take that price there, work him in? I still think the matchup and just the volume and usage is worth it at there. So he's someone that I will try and work in, although projections may be like, oh, he's 2, 3, 4 off of the other guys, although it's very close. So just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I like that, Numi. I think that's a really sharp point to bring out that, like, it's not James Harden. It's like, when we're drafting James Harden at that 5 or that 6 slot and it's anticipatory of Embiid being out and a usage bump. In this situation, I think Porzingis would still just be the 6th or 7th pick every single draft. And then if those two guys miss, I think he'd still be the 5th or 6th pick no matter what. Like, maybe you prop him up over the Ball and over the Sabonis tier if we do get both of them out. But either way, I think he's a solid play, and I think that was a good way of articulating that. For me, I'm kind of looking at the front end of the draft boards here, and I'm just continually clicking Embiid at the 1, and nothing's really going to change that for me right now. And then I'm kind of going into this. I think this is kind of like a tier with these 3 where I'm kind of just like, I don't really care which of them I get, but I think I prefer Dame out of the group. And I think I might decide to get a little exploitative today and take Dame over Jason Tatum. I don't know where you guys come out on that one, but that's kind of where my mind's been at. I just look at like a depleted Warriors team that, just give me pool party versus Dame all night and let them fill it up. I got my trunks. I
like the rankings how you have them. Okay. I mean, it's Jason Tatum, so I mean, I know we're somewhat splitting hairs, but I do think on a slate like this, getting exploitative where you can makes sense. Where we have so much of the prize at the top, get a little exploitative, and I love those matchups like LaMelo versus the Wiz. Like, love that, and obviously love Dame against the Warriors because he's a man on a mission right now, and he's at home. Really like his matchup.
I like it. Where do you guys come out on the Kyrie situation? Because if you tell me we got Kyrie and nobody else on that floor and he's making his debut, I don't really care that it's a low total game, that there's good defense on the other side. If with no Luka out there, I can see Kyrie just going like, hey, it's prove it time. I'm in LA. I'm nationally televised. I just got traded. I'm the talk of the league other than LeBron. I'm just going to try and fill it up tonight. What do you guys think about that narrative?
Yeah, I mean, I there's no reason for him. Like, if he's playing, he's playing. So, and we've seen Kyrie on a team that doesn't have another superstar. What does he do? Kyrie hucks it. Like Kyrie, like he like was Kyrie holding Cam Thomas back? Many are asking. But like,
I mean,
but the dude hucks it, and the dude hucks it at an efficient clip. The matchup and the total is going to tell you like, no, but I mean, this is going to be another guy that it's going to be my famous. I'm going to have to click at that cost. He may not, he's may going to be against the projections, going against the grain, but Kyrie Irving on a no one else squad with something to play for in a way where people have been talking about him. His name's in there. Now he probably doesn't care. He's going to go out and hoop. is not someone I want to have 0% of. So he's not a fade of last night where literally I had 3 Cam Thomas all 6th round from the night before. Otherwise I went, you know what? Like I'm actually comfortable having 0% of this guy or in my remaining drafts. And I did that and it burned me, but like, that's just not someone I'm willing to do with Kyrie.
Right. Yeah.
Stuff like that. So
yeah, I like that thought process.
Systems, but yeah, I will like to work them in, and yeah, we just know what he can do. I mean, look at that. He's 10K on these sites. They're expecting him for 36, 35 on sites. So yeah, I like it.
His line for the pick'em, his stat prop is like a 44.5 fantasy points line.
Wow, that's high.
Which is pretty high.
Yeah.
And it's up there, but it's in line with the people around him, the players around him. The most egregious one is Jimmy Butler. He is right now, his line is above Bam's as far as fantasy points, and he's like 6 spots below him. So he's probably like the best value right now.
Yes,
against the Pacers. I mean,
that Pacers
Bam and
defense
Jimmy against the Pacers
is
just.
Yeah, you want to, and that's what I was going to get into, that matchup where so Miles Turner has just been on a heater. Dude has just been playing some excellent ball. And when he's been staying out of foul trouble, when he has been kind of getting close to it, like he's there was a quote where he's become more aware and not taking himself out of the game by getting into severe foul trouble. So that's been good. And that matchup where it just makes more, like, literally when you look at Miami games, a lot of them are below 220. Like you look at 223, but it's kind of a pace up spot for Miami because of just the pace.
It is big time.
Yeah. So like you said, I like Jimmy a lot. That's a great value in these drafts according to that, and I like Bam too. I like Hero too. Don't get me wrong.
Hero in the last round.
That's good confirmation bias.
What I said, the first thing I did too this morning before we did the show, just to get make sure I wasn't completely blowing hot air. I only blow hot air like 68% of the time. So, but I was like, just to make sure, I was like, I said instantly to these guys, Jimmy looks like the mispriced play on the slate right now to me. I think there's a couple other ones, but I think Jimmy really stands out to me as one of the most mispriced. Just one thing with that Mavs rotation, they're missing a lot of usage here that we haven't seen yet. We saw Josh Green come out and play some good hoops last game, just basically filling in all that Dinwiddie usage. I think people thought that Jade Hardy was going to start, or that he did start, but then didn't play that much. He had a good game, but didn't play as much as anticipated, right? He was like DFS chalk, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways,
definitely.
yeah, I'm just kind of looking at this lineup, and I just kind of go, yeah, man, I kind of want to throw the total out the window. I kind of want to throw the Clippers pace and defense shit out the window and just be like, Kyrie just might put it up 28, 36 times. He might just he might just play 38 minutes and go crazy here, because it's kind of like, what else is this team going to do? They're in win now mode. Like, Christian Wood came back, but not to a full allotment of minutes. They're still projecting him to come off the bench again, which is fine. But when we saw Christian Wood's ceiling games, it's when what the fuck's the coach's name that hates him?
Kidd.
Oh, Jason Kidd was like, yeah, he's part of the starting rotation now. We don't care about his defense, right? Because Kidd had done this thing where he was bringing him off the bench for so long at the start of the year because he was a defensive liability, and he was doing all these subs where Wood in and out. Now it's kind of just like, once he's a starter again, get him out there, let him fill it up, and just let him and Kyrie play like a 2-man game tonight.
Yeah, it might be valuable to be a game early on that.
Yeah, like Kyrie.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just go look at his he's getting the minutes, getting the game log, he's been shooting efficiently, been hucking it at over literally 20 attempts per game, 60%, 70% true shooting. So if you just expect that to continue and just translate it over a team that does not have a star and a Luka Doncic, what did Spencer Dinwiddie do when there was no Luka?
Right. Yes.
Is Kyrie better? Yes. So that's what I'm trying to now.
Spencer Dinwiddie did enough without Luka on the floor to get him traded for Kyrie.
And he had no Christian Wood at that one point too. Yeah. He had no. So he was just doing it with the boys in these matchups, regardless of what they were. Like, I think Kyrie Irving is matchup proof. So then you put him on a team that you just watched what Dinwiddie did. Like, I think Kyrie could do that, and then with a higher ceiling. So yeah,
love it.
Enough Kyrie.
Yeah.
It is an interesting topic with his price and everything going on. So
yeah, because if Kyrie didn't move teams and we just projected similar minutes and usage in a similar spot tonight, and let's just hypothetically say Brooklyn is playing the Clippers in LA tonight, and it's Kyrie, whatever. Where's Kyrie getting drafted on this slate? Probably 2 spots higher. Maybe just maybe
right
above
at it.
Harden.
I think just kind of right at. Yeah, honestly, I would say right there, give or take.
Because like I would be taking Kyrie if this was the Brooklyn spot and they were going into LA. I would take Kyrie probably in this Porzingis. And
I think he would be at this range. I think the matchup itself with what Brooklyn has without that would kind of put him at this range. I think the narrative of not switching teams and having all of this would make him a easier click though. If that makes sense.
Yes. That's kind of what I was trying to articulate. Thank you.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong. Like he's not you don't know what you're gonna get from him. I he could we still don't officially know he's expected to play. So we have all these vague terms in the NBA. Like we get an update the day before, like someone could miss 2 games. Awesome. Let me know when he either will or will not miss the games. Like, because that update does nothing for me. Like, so getting 3 updates now on Kyrie where he's expected to play. Hey, let you know he's still expected to play. Hey, the update. Yeah, he's still expected
to play. Yeah.
Roger. Well,
let me know the ultimate rug pull. This would be the ultimate rug
pull. Let me know when he is and or isn't ready to play. And I will then take that one. So we take it for what it's worth. Because I think the only probable tag. Now this is different from not an injury, but the only probable tag that we've had taken out was that Giannis 101, where he went from probable to all of a sudden just like, hey, Giannis out. Like,
right. Yeah.
So otherwise the probable tags are pretty trustworthy.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's wrap.
Different context with trade. Yeah. This is going to be, it's
drafts.
They're always fun when you have the most options.
Yeah, these 9 gamers are a lot of fun because like the names in which you're still like kind of propping up at the back end of these drafts are still really nice.
They do have,
you know what I mean?
4 of the worst teams in the NBA, or 5 of the worst teams in Detroit, the Spurs, Houston, Charlotte. Like
the Spurs are interesting tonight because they're full of Q tags at guard too.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, basically their entire. Yeah, so I think it's
Dame.
Yep.
The Cavaliers game is going to be interesting because
Garland
and Spida got Q tags like an hour ago, so not good.
And
are those considered?
Are those considered? Karis LeVert. Sorry, go ahead.
Say again to me.
That would. I mean, if they're both out, that would be wheels up for Karis LeVert.
Yeah, Karis LeVert's missed the last 2 games though.
I think Okoro low key.
I don't think he's
Okoro in a full court press, no doubt.
Okay.
Okoro's been playing a lot better.
Okay, I like it.
LeVert doesn't have a tag.
LeVert being on there. Okay,
and then the big men just haven't moved, and they probably should.
Yeah, so
I think Mobley is the one that would get more. Yeah, Mobley gets more ball handling than Allen. He'd be the one that would like kind of soak up more of that.
Is it a Cedi Osman game?
Oh God, not.
We got a 9-game slate. We got a 9-game slate where the 6th round pick is Christian Wood right now, and we're getting these references. Like,
hey man, I got the full court press brain. So
I know so much ball. Fair. It's cumbersome on me.
Yeah, so. This is how I feel too, right, dog? Wheels up for that 25 points from Karis LeVert.
Isn't it always? Right. It feels so nice. Like you're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. LeVert isn't getting drafted. You're going to make sure he's not getting drafted. You're just going to take the falling Mitchell and Garland. And then when one of them's out, you take that LeVert swap. So nice. like Rydock said,
Hey,
25
man,
points. Boom.
Levert
Guys,
scoring
many are-
30 real life points tonight. I'm
Many
sorry.
are saying that this is the perfect start. Many
It
are
is.
saying that the perfect start just fell right into our laps.
Wow. Thank you, room. Thank you, chat.
I think I
Ricky
really like
Rick,
Bam
True Grinder.
as well. Like True Grinder pushing up Bam there makes sense to me. I think
It
I
does
like
to me too. But
yeah.
Jimmy is like 1-to-1 with Bam. Like Jimmy should
think
be
so? Yeah.
going. Jimmy should be going like right here.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's it. I think I want to have both, but yeah,
I do.
I agree with you though. If you look at it in terms of just the cost, like yeah, Jimmy's the one.
I
you
think
would
it's
just really
Jimmy or
want.
like Fred.
I think it's this
or
decision
Pascal,
here.
yeah.
Whom do we like better?
I mean,
Let's
if we're going with
do-
our heart, it's
Let's
Jimmy.
do Siakam.
Okay.
I keep going back to the Siakam well.
we might get him
I
back,
can't
Jimmy.
quit third round Siakam. When it's first round Siakam and he's like 5th overall and stuff, like I can quit that. I can get on board with like taking Scotty Barnes in the 4th instead. But like third
when's he
round
gonna go back to his
Siakam-
alpha role though? We need
I
that.
know.
Well, so Precious
Yeah.
is there is just clogging up the he's just not getting the same boards that he's getting. He's not
Yeah.
getting. He's just. I mean, Fred's been shooting it more. I'm just looking at his game now, his true shooting has been awful in this stretch.
I think the biggest thing you
just
touched
awful.
on right there, Numi, the biggest thing that you touched on is the fact that they're running the 4-5 with Precious at the 5, and he's getting all those like double rebound games that we used to see, those Siakam versus small 5 games where it was like, oh, he's still going to rip 11 boards, 8 boards, or whatever. Like those games have just dissipated because, Precious is just standing there.
Yeah, it's just I'm willing to take Siakam, like you know what I mean, like because we're playing this like a market, so like we were early on Siakam there, we know what he's capable of, so I'm just trying to because we're not trying to I always tell myself because I know you know this, we're not trying to.
Oh my god, fucking A, that was close, boys. That was close.
Well, we could take the boy
was-
that's been doing hot. I think we push Mitchell if we
Sure.
can.
Definitely.
Do you guys like Miles Turner here? He's been good. I kind of like Sengun, but I'm
Yeah,
good with either.
I think
Miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Fuck, that was gonna be a fun start if
Oh.
Jimmy came back one. Oh my god.
So
That
mad.
would have been.
We
so
almost
much
took him
fun.
at 15 and he almost fell all the way back to 20, whatever.
I guess that is something to consider. Like, yeah, I'm bullish on Jimmy. We're bullish on Jimmy. There's going to be some teams that get him in the mid 20s potentially.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But what's it going to take for him to get steamed up? Maybe this is such a good matchup for Jimmy Butler. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's just been meh. Like, you know what I mean? He hasn't been.
But even when he's meh, he's like 40 fantasy points on 12,
I know,
on
and
12
that's
life points.
and that's just people aren't man, he is just he's incredible. He is truly.
Someone tried to trade me Trae Young for Jimmy Butler, and it's a categories league, so it's a little different than this. But I mean, that's a hard no.
No. Once you said categories, I went, trade the guy that does everything on the court to guy that literally is
3 points and assists.
Yeah, 2 categories: shooting and
Point.
whining to his coach.
Should we take one of the downgrade
take
cues
Mitchell.
here? Okay. I mean, the swap options are so plentiful that this kind of feels like
That's what I was just gonna say.
it feels like 2 days ago when you could get Jaylen Brown, who had a 9 overall ADP, and he would fall to the 4th and the 5th sometimes. I was scooping him there every time because I was like, man, this is a large enough slate that I'm going to get nice swaps.
Nez? What was their downgrade with?
I actually didn't see.
I mean, I know this is different, but the DeJounte Murray got ruled out or got downgraded
yesterday.
for migraines.
Yeah.
And like that was a smaller slate, and I was still taking that. I was still taking Jamal Murray. Like I was still taking.
We got
I was taking less.
thumb and a groin.
Yeah, it's not great.
And they're playing Detroit, which is even worse because
Detroit.
that's
like who gives a shit?
But again, here's my you just named out. I think it's perfectly fine. You could even see if these falling because if you can get them in the 6, that's even the perfect. But you get the Q tag in there, and if it's at this point in the draft, once more dominoes start to fall and everything starts to happen, and you load and you get your projections 25, 10 minutes, 5 minutes before slate, and you update them in there and you see what swap rankings are the best, there could be 2-3 guys that weren't even on anyone's radar at this draft frame. So now you plug them into these drafts, and like, I mean, one, they're just literally projecting as true ceiling players at that time. So you're going to want them in those lineups. So now you get the benefit of potentially drafting them at the later window and plugging them and playing them in your early lineups too, by either getting a dominant star at the 5th round price tag or a dominant swap that now has a ceiling that was the same as the star type deal. So,
I really like Christian Wood in the 6th. I really like Rudy Gobert revenge game narrative in Utah. I think I like Christian Wood more.
I'll do Christian Wood or Walker Kessler.
Walker Kessler. You like Walker Kessler more than Gobert tonight?
I do.
I think that
I think Walker Kessler's the better player. I think Walker Kessler is strictly the better player.
Okay.
I mean, we want to talk about revenge narrative. It's not the same thing for Walker, but I mean, he could just strictly come out there and just clown us, right? Like he could just be like, "This is like I'm literally was just part of the deal for this dude." Like, I don't know. And Walker's just strictly the guy that can come out there and do. I mean, what was it, Jaren Jackson last night? Yeah. All of a sudden, I looked at like, oh, how does Jaren Jackson have this many? Okay, he's got 4 blocks and a steal already, and it's not in it.
I mean, why would you fade Jaren Jackson at home?
Oh, no. I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Everyone else seen the Reddit thread? I mean, he's gonna get 20 points.
Yeah, that's the stat announcer, right? Like and then I saw a tweet like they're probably counting this a block, right? And it was some guy. Yeah. Okay, I think we're on the same page. Yeah, that's funny. Someone else popped off last night. Go ahead.
Rydock bringing up a interesting point here that Mitchell hasn't looked right since he went out with that initial injury. Yeah, I think that's a good sharp point there, because he came back. Like, remember the initial reports on Mitchell were like, yo, this guy's going to miss like multiple weeks. See you after the All-Star break. Then we had that weird ass, he had the out tag, or he had the doubtful tag, and then we thought maybe he was going to play, and we started mixing him in late in the afternoon in drafts. Then he didn't end up playing, and we had a bunch of dead lineups. Then the following day, he had the Q tag, and then he ended up playing. Remember this whole situation a week ago?
Oh yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I'll take the ceiling of that guy, even though he's been absolutely just garbo. I'll just take the ceiling of him. I think they just played. Yeah, I mean, he just played Washington. He had a 60% true shooting game, 21 points, had some peripherals, had the steal. Was efficient. It was his best game in a while. So, I mean, if that's telling, but yeah, no, of the two, the Garland thing, he's been playing better, and he's just better to trust. But I mean, I'll take anyone that falls there.
Chip with the groundbreaking reporting of a Reddit thread being mostly BS.
Reddit isn't 100% truth.
It was so annoying, man. Everybody just like ran with that. It was insane. Like everybody's retweeting like, "Oh my gosh, controversy!" I'm like, he didn't even have any like concrete shit in the thread. He was like,
that's where I get all my news, man.
Like, oh my god, like, give me a break.
Oh, but
Freezer taking the Kristaps. I feel like Freezer's just an ADP guy. I feel like Freezer doesn't set ranks. He just loads 150 and drafts them. And just catches ADP value. I've been noticing, trying to figure out his thing, and he's always in line with ADP.
Yeah, let everybody else do the work for him.
I found the Michael Porter Jr. swap very interesting.
Because he was in line with the ADP.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Why do you swap to Michael Porter Jr.?
Well, I mean, Jamal Murray was out.
Yeah, I just thought there were better swap options, and I don't think
Bruce Brown.
The only way he would have ended up with Michael Porter Jr. there is if Jamal Murray was his 2nd round pick, because it would have swapped before.
True.
So yeah, I don't know. It was just an interesting situation.
Yeah. Your point stands. I think Ant's here.
Went there. Ant feels good. Getting Ant at like 12 feels kind of good, but like it falls in line with ADP. But for whatever reason, it just feels good.
Yeah, he kind of. Yeah, we need a dominant Ant game again.
We could thrust up Butler here. and
I like
and we
that.
could get
Why
ahead
not?
of the Butler because we've been talking up how we like it. I mean, I think I like Siakam in a vacuum more than Butler. I just kind of don't want to draft the exact same team we just drafted. But
Yeah.
I
let's
think
do it.
out of this whole grouping, like this Jaylen Brown, Siakam, Fox, Hallie, I think Butler's my favorite play other than Siakam.
He feels so comfy and cozy. Like
Yeah.
it would shock me that if he didn't do well tonight.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Nick's saying. He had the same Michael Porter Jr. swap happen mostly when Aaron Gordon was already in a lineup in the 6th. That makes sense. And didn't want Bruce Brown. So you push up Michael Porter Jr. over top of Bruce Brown. That makes sense to me. I mean, that's how I was drafting it the night before when everybody had doubtful tags. Like I really liked the Michael Porter Jr. and ended up with 46% like a fucking idiot. But
Who was it? Didn't someone go off in the late game?
Last night?
Kind of, yeah.
LeBron James.
Yeah, ever heard of him?
Or maybe it was 2 nights ago. Never mind.
Westbrook had a really nice game last night too. Dude,
are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Dude, he had like 50 fantasy points and was a 6th round pick.
Okay, yeah, for our intents and purposes, yeah. But if he fucking
dude,
he missed LeBron he played a horrible real life basketball game. I just want to say
he plays
a doesn't matter for us.
Basketball game every game.
He's not one to make it look elegant out there, or be
we need to have some integrity here. Like you can't say he had a really good game.
He had a really good game.
Jokic had a triple double in the first half.
Good fantasy game. Horrendous
first half.
Game.
Man, and they were up 34 or something.
Yeah, wasn't great.
This is me playing hockey.
Dude, there was T-Wolves fans going absolutely off. Like, oh my gosh, like look at that. This is your 1 seed. This is your 1 seed. And I'm like, and all these people are like, yo, they didn't have Jokic, like Murray or like Gordon at all in their lineup. Like when we beat them at home. And then there was a Denver Twitter account that just goes that tweeted like,
we're on the clock. And I would just like to ask if the boys are packing their trunks this evening.
I could go for a dip.
Are you guys going for a dip?
I'm going with Clay. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's go to the pool party. Let's do it.
Let's go to the pool party, gents.
Let's go. And let's do we do a little Jared Allen? Little point forward. Jared
I gotta go to Alfred. I gotta go to Sengun. I have to. The dude, like I will until this dude does it again. Like he's gonna put. He's just I love me some Sengun, and he's gonna put up the number. I mean, at one point he was a 1st round pick, like 3 slates ago. Granted, it was a smaller slate, but like when we got to like a 7 or 8 game slate, and he was still on the border. Like it's the same matchup against the Kings, who don't play a lick of defense. We already talked about Sabonis and how he doesn't play defense. So, and there's no one else out there playing D.
Yeah, the 2 things with him are Smith and Martin both being who they're still missing Kevin Porter Jr. and they got Jalen Green back. But like I would like to know the usage splits with Green on the floor and without him. I can't imagine Sengun changes like that much. But I think what's going to happen with Sengun is when Michael Porter Jr. comes back, that's when the big hit comes, right?
Or you mean Michael. Yeah.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter Jr. I was like, wait a minute, what now? Yeah.
Did I say Michael? Kevin.
There's so many names. Yeah, we were just talking about him, but yeah, Kevin Porter. The man that had a fight or had a fit in the Cleveland locker room.
Hey man, let's cut him some slack. That dude has some demons. Okay. I mean, like,
I love Ness over here always playing devil's advocate. Always over here just like, hey now, hey.
Bro, Kevin Porter's been through some shit. Like, let's cut him some slack.
You always know more than me and John know. You're like, you guys don't know this. We're like, no. And you're just like,
do you really not?
I mean, I know he had a freak out. I didn't go into the details of it. What happened?
I mean, bro, he's been through a lot. He's
Been through the ringer or what?
Yeah, man. He's battling some major mental health issues. Like
Okay.
he lost his dad early. Like he's like, if you have a minute, like if you look up like Kevin Porter, like you'll find an article. I'm telling you.
All right. That's fair.
Gotta
He's
stand
young.
up for the boy.
I mean, he's a young guy in the league, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but he's actually like 35 at heart.
I feel that we're diving deep. Holy, scroll down. The fuck.
No, I'm just looking for names that might be of interest at the bottom here. Walker Kessler, you said you liked more than Gobert. I keep clicking on basically those 4 names late here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like who you named there, Keldon's.
What about Anthony Simons on this team without Dame? No?
Let's do it.
I think I want Walker Kessler because we didn't take him
fine.
last time, and we got Ant already, so taking 2 of the Minnesota guys feels less fun. Yeah, let's take Walker Kessler there, and then let's just keep ripping.
I mean, we just gotta hope that Walker gets. I'm trying to see here his last games of blocks, but. Yeah, I mean his last 4 games have went in the block category. We got to hope that we get one of these, the 5, 7, or 3, not the 1.
Yeah, in that span, Numi, they played Toronto twice though, right?
In this span that I'm naming off, they played Dallas twice.
That's what it was. There was some team.
They did play Toronto though. That they did put up to 7. So that was the one matchup. Yeah.
There was someone was telling me who's smarter than me, and I think T-Bear even said it in the chat one day too, where just the way in which he was getting blocks comparatively to like playing other teams with traditional bigs wouldn't have happened. But like, fuck if I know. I'm about it. I'm going to chase that box score.
He should be if he's not. I mean,
yeah, well, he shouldn't be. They shouldn't want to. They should honestly want to trade Lauri Markkanen.
Actually,
like, they should want to capitalize on Lauri.
Well, yeah, I think Markkanen is probably
big ass
higher
shotgun.
Up on the. Where's he going?
Big ass shotgun.
Like I don't know, but they should try and capitalize on him and get him before. Yeah, that would be my thing because like they're not going to be competitive for the next few years, so. Might as well just continue to stockpile assets with the guys that you have. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's my 2 cents.
Little bit of news here, gentlemen. I don't know if it matters, but I'm looking at Al Horford now questionable, and Robert Williams is now questionable as well.
Really? Jaylen Brown got ruled in.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown available to play.
That sounds like an Embiid absolute torch fest.
Holy, we just got a lot of news.
Who's playing
Jeremy
the 5?
Sochan out. Trey Jones out for the Spurs. Keldon Johnson remains questionable.
Numi, you're dropping news like I didn't see it when I saw all this other news too. I wanted to talk about the other stuff first, then talk about that news.
Well,
we're content bros. We're not breaking news guys.
Same. One of the same.
Okay, so what do you think that does in terms of like Embiid was already our 101, blah blah blah, but like is there any kind of doubt in our minds now that Embiid will play, or who plays the 5 for the Celtics that Embiid's going to absolutely body bag?
Blake Griffin.
Right?
Blake Griffin just going to take 4 charges on Embiid in the first quarter and get him in foul trouble.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who would even be like. So if they're both out, it would be Grant Williams. It would be Luke Cornett. It would be Sam Hauser, who's a small forward, so he's not going to be guarding them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not going to be much of a resistance there. If it's not them.
And Butler or Paul George?
Paul George.
Okay.
See, sometimes when I'm there, it's like I know we let Butler fall and we'll go to the room, but like at some point, if you're doing limited entries, I just take Butler at that 3 pick, and you're basically just saying like, hey, these guys aren't going to outscore Butler, and he's going to put it there.
Right.
Although, don't get me wrong, pushing it is the best way to do it, and it always feels better. But when it comes to hoops and like the super flex and like everything is just it's just a player and points in that spot. And I still think getting the this is a 9-game slate with this team's like ideally you're shooting for this many points from this round player, you know,
right.
from this draft slot. Like I really feel like there's a way to assign how much points you ideally need on a slate to each draft slot, and that's what you're kind of aiming for.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, I bet players already do that. I bet there's guys out here that have already figured out this, have their own little formula.
That's what I was doing for NFL, like for the start of the season. Like I was just like, okay, like here's my ceiling, here's my floor, and just kind of like looking for profiles, and that was helpful for me.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I just didn't know if like in terms of, because like if you look at it like, oh, like, you know, like 101 to 106 would be like the 10K price range, but then once you get into second round, that's when you get to the 9Ks. Like I know it's not, but you kind of bring it into like what do you need for points over replacement in that spot, and it's like, I know that's nitty gritty, but then you could really be like, okay, well then there's 3 guys here always at that spot that always meet that need in terms of projection, and then next thing you know, you could just cycle through those 3 guys rather than cycle through a bunch of guys and things like that.
Yeah,
things that I think through when playing these games and that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've talked about like overall strat before, and Andy, Pete, and Clay did a show yesterday talking a little bit of hoops, and I think like Andy was talking about how like not diversifying heavily in the first couple rounds, and like why get exploitative for the difference of like 2 or 3 projectable ceiling points, and I think what you we're on the clock. Do you want to take the Garland cue? I really want to go back to the pool party. I'm not gonna lie.
I know you do. I mean, I know you do. You have 3 bags packed all there. 2 of them are with swim trunks.
Yeah, I got my bags are packed.
What about Terry? Is that not good enough? Or
I like Terry. I think that's always a fine option. I think he's in terms of projection, he's a little right around that spot. I would eat the Garland and just hope that he plays. Maybe, I don't know. That's my thought.
Do it.
Garland with the thumb is better than Mitchell with the groin.
And if one of them plays and the other one doesn't, it makes that pick so much better.
True.
Because
which could happen.
Yeah, like think about it when we have a situation where one of them has the Q tag, we always thrust up the other one, and vice versa. Now all of a sudden, if we have a double Q and you get one ruled, like let's hypothetically say double Q and they both get ruled in. Well, you probably got about 1 round of value, right? Unless of course they pop off and hit ceiling or whatever. But now let's hypothetically say one is ruled out, the other's ruled in, and you happen to have one of those in your lineup. Well, that's probably 2.5 rounds of value in terms of usage without the other guy on the floor, right? Regardless of which one it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that was well put, Mr. Hoops Guy.
Hoops Guy. Hoops Guy.
And I think, and to me, that like that makes me want Garland over Mitchell. Like I think Mitchell with the groin is scary for today.
Fair.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I agree with you. I'm done thinking I know anything. Whatever I know.
You're capitulating.
Whatever I know is wrong. Whoever my highest exposed is will shoot their worst shooting performance and look terrible. RJ Barrett, everyone who's at the top of my freaking exposures. It's literally clockwork. It's just the way of the road. So if anyone wants to know my highest exposed when I'm doing heavy, like halfway through the slate, I will let you know. Do not draft that guy.
You can fade the shit
out
of him.
Just fade him. Just fade him like I do Cam Thomas. Whenever I see his name there, he's just not in the ranks.
Beal goes there. We keep getting left with the Gobert, the Kessler, the Russell decision.
I would rather do D'Lo. I would rather do D'Lo.
Yeah.
I'd rather do D'Lo. Kessler again.
Yeah. Any other fun names here to get different, like deep down? Like I'm looking at Keldon Johnson's name just standing out as being different than this group if he plays. The whole caveat being if he plays. But like if we take Keldon Johnson there with that pick, I think it's like slightly more unique And if we get him, it's slightly more unique. If we don't, we just swap to D'Lo anyways. You get what I'm saying?
So Kuzma's interesting. I know he's down there at 35.5 ADP.
He was already picked in that
He's
one.
already picked. So yeah, he's been going. That's one thing to notice. He's an interesting. Again, my ADP might be a little early, so I might be off on like a few points. So he's interesting one there. I think those Washington guys are super fun picks besides Porzingis that are late. I also, like you were saying, the Gobert Russell is fun. The guy you don't like, but I'll name again, Mason Plumlee. He's going to be out there. He's going to get the minutes. You're just going to hope he continues to do what he does and falls into a little extra something. I don't think Cam in that lineup would have done anything for me. So, but
it's too funny though.
I wonder if the guys on that range I was picking kind of matched him regardless. It literally was my 6th round picks that just kind of buried me in because I just didn't go all in on Gordon. But yeah, sorry. The Kuzma, Beal, Russell, Gobert, Mason Plumlee. Those are all fine names.
All viable names, yeah.
I think Gary Trent, Grant, Johnson, Jeremy Grant, Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
All names to mix in, you know what I mean? When they're so close like that at the back end.
What about 35 minutes from Norm Powell without Christian Wood returning to full form? Full court press only?
Norm Powell?
What does Norm Powell have to do with Christian Wood?
Not Norm Powell, the other Powell, Dwight Powell.
Okay.
Dwight Powell.
Yeah, full court press. I think that's where he's valuable. I do. I don't think you're getting very thin if you're thinking Dwight Powell in the regular ones.
Yeah, I was just gal-braining if he doesn't come all the way back, right?
Yeah. I just think that the fact that he's there regardless makes an ancillary piece non-existent. If he wasn't there at all, then he might become.
Then he might be
relevant.
viable.
Yeah, but the fact that there's another cook in the kitchen, and especially one that is a better scorer, they want on the court more. He'll just be like a wrench in them.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to close the thought on what we started to talk about, and then started to talk about something else with like the first round, whatever. I think there's like 2 very distinct ways to play these contests, and we see them executed differently every single night. And I think it's really good to articulate, like seeing T-Box win like a couple days ago and then seeing Feed the Freezer win last night, because Feed the Freezer is very like GTO, very like all the way around like ADP. He's never really doing anything crazy rogue. He's not necessarily thrusting anyone up more than 4 or 5 spots. And like it's not a hyper exploitative strategy. We question if he's even drafting or if he's just auto drafting, right? Who do you guys like here? We could do the Kawhi, we could do Paul, or we could do Bam.
I think Kawhi just based on ADP.
Numi?
Yeah, either Kawhi or Bam. But the ADP is hard to pass up.
Okay. Yeah. So
there's right here.
There's a perfect example of it right there, where like taking Kawhi because of the ADP is what we would classify as like a GTO strategy, where it's like, hey, we're buying a little bit of a dip here. We're doing that even if we think Bam projects 2 points higher than Kawhi, or we like Bam's game environment better. So I think it's just an exercise in risk tolerance. And on like any isolated slate, I think the ADP game is by far the safest, right? Like I think that's what's going to net you the least of heavy of losses. But I think if you can play a hyper exploitative strategy and just be flat out better than everybody else, and you can routinely project the guy in the first round who's 4 points higher than the other guy, then you can smash these fields night over night with an exploitative strategy. Do you guys want to thrust up Jimmy Butler here, or do you like Jaylen Brown? I
could go for a little Jaylen Brown.
You want to?
He's really good. I mean, and there's something about clicking on him that doesn't always feel good. It almost never feels good.
Yeah.
But without the other guys there,
good point.
So I know it's probably going to be a bad comp. I know it's not as close, but like this is probably more Jamar Chase, T. Higgins comp, where it's times of like Tatum is that, but like in terms of needing another guy in hoops, like Brown can put it up and all that. So it's like I always like to take the lower cost in Jaylen Brown. You know what I mean? Like there's never been a day we've never got to the day of the flipping. Like that's why it's always Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, because we've never got to the day where we've seen almost a flipping of Van Fleet and Siakam. It's never, and I don't think it's ever going to come for Brown and Tatum unless it's a super small slate. So like, like, is he always hampered of always having the true alpha there and a guy that can do it? Yeah, but like Brown can get his, and he's going to be the second option. He fills it up defensively. So, yeah, and he may not be a guy that always pops, but like he's always a fine click. You know what I mean? It's always someone that I'll be. Yeah,
I wanted Lauri Markkanen in there in a big way, and then after he went, I was like,
lugged.
"Well, you guess what? I got my sunblock ready. I got my water wings ready. I was ready to go." And
Miles Turner.
I don't love the matchup for Turner, like just from a basketball standpoint, versus Bam.
Yeah,
but
fair.
yeah, I mean, he's been playing some really nice hoops.
The Heat suck too.
Well,
so it's like Bam is good, but the Heat are just not good right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
The thing is with Miles was the matchup thing I wanted to kind of debunk was who did he just play? He just played Cleveland, and that's the biggest deterrent in bigs for all that. And dude put up 27 points, 10 boards, 3 blocks, and a steal on 68% true shooting. Like
that's pretty sick.
Like seven, getting the free throws. So he's been on another level. Like if you, in terms of one thing that's fun is I like the rolling averages I'll use of just estimated plus minus true shooting. You can kind of see guys. At this point, might as well just take our boy.
Freezer going back to back with the Cleveland guards. Okay, dude.
Yeah, very interesting.
I like Jared Allen here. That's a guy that's a guy that can benefit. He's not going to be a guy that just strictly is the main beneficiary of the usage. But I mean, against Detroit, like,
yeah, that's the thing, man. It's the matchup against Detroit. It's just like, holy crap! It really feels like
it's not going to hurt you guys. It's not going to negatively impact them. So
it's pathetic that you guys have just forgotten about Beef Stew's existence. I mean,
I think Detroit has forgotten about Beef Stew's existence.
Yeah, true. That's true. I like Shimmy just took, who, by the way, that's a day one guy who he's the mystery still out there, I believe.
Jalen Green, yeah.
But yeah, taking Jalen Green there. I like against the Kings feels really, really good. Jalen Green, many are saying, not me. Many are, though, he's budget Cam Thomas.
Oh, I like it.
Many are saying.
I like that. I like that take.
Yeah, I guess. Except he's budget Cam Thomas.
I'm not saying
on the worst team.
Not me, guys.
He's budget Cam Thomas on a team that may be worse than half the G League.
Right. But same exact role.
That's a funny comp.
Yeah, I kind of feel this way too, Chip. I don't know. Maybe his picks are just so tethered to it. Yeah.
That's what I was saying earlier. He literally just comes in here and he just loads 150 drafts or 50 at a time and does them at different times, which he wins. So I mean, he capitalizes on the value and he gets the guys up. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he won't be like me who has 46% Michael Porter Jr. for no reason.
Underdog projections are the best in NBA. Now, are they like 100% reliable? No, but like of the projections of like around the sports, I think NBA underdog projections are the closest to reliable.
What do you mean projections? Do you mean ADP or what?
Like if you look at the
projection on the right hand side, you like those numbers?
But no, I'm saying like when you look at that, and then so when you look at that, that's what I mean. ADP in the market, like the market kind of shift these guys. Yeah, pick one of them.
I think I like Beal.
Like I guess I'm just like confused what you
that's
mean.
What I mean. I don't mean the projections. I mean like the way like they end up falling into ADP. So yeah, the ADP is the most like efficient thing because of how many drafts there are, how often it shifts out. Like, and you have people literally then drafting off of projections is what I was trying to say. So like you have people coming in like this that'll auto draft projections and say, F your GTO, like I'm going to be exploitative. Well, then that's changing the ADP in itself and forming it to more like DFS projections are.
Yeah.
I got you.
I think if you have the little bit of cash, just throw in a little auto draft ADP.
Whoa.
Did you not see that yet, man? 4K to first over on the.
That is fun, huh?
He can't even sit still.
Oh boy, that is fun. $100 PGA. All right. That is awesome. That's fun. That's fun.
All right, Numi, I know you got a rip here.
Yeah. Are you guys running your puck model, or are you calling it?
I think I need Nez to fire up his puck machine.
Can you go to your results tab, John, if you feel comfortable enough to show how you did in puck last night?
I don't think I
need
did.
to see this.
Nuh-uh. That's us, baby.
Toe drag Tuesday, baby. There it is.
Wait, are we celebrating a min cash?
A $1 win, baby. That's a min cash.
Who got you on the tang, my guy? I don't know. I can't remember. Who told you to do that? That's crazy.
The model was popping. The model.
All right, boys. Well, enjoy your model with another min cash.
Hey, only model that guarantees you cash. Doesn't matter how much it is.
We are an absolute printing fest in puck. We're a printing fest.
DJ Sabers is shaking in his skates right now. He hears us. He hears us coming. He hears us gliding. He can hear the ice. He knows it's coming.
Brothers. You guys have a good one. I appreciate everyone being here. Everyone have a great day.
Sounds good, Numi.
Peace, dude.
Peace, buddy.
Maybe just one. Maybe just.
All right, let's rip a puck. We gotta
fire up. I haven't looked at any of it.
We gotta fire up the min cash model and see what's going on. I know the Canucks play in New York tonight.
Okay. Let me see what else I can.
Dude, there's only 2 games on the slate. Oh my goodness.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, 2 games on the slate.
4
we
games.
got Nucks Rangers, and we got Minnesota at Dallas. Okay, we can do this.
All right. So obviously, like, just queue up all the Rangers, right? And then J-Rob as well for my Dallas Stars. Oh man,
yep.
The streets are getting a little scared that I'm so knowledgeable about the ice.
Okay, we got confirmed starters already, other than the best goalie on the slate.
Is his backup like super nice?
I don't know.
I thought he was. I thought he had like a really nice backup. I don't know.
All right. Here we go. No ADP.
3. Yeah, and because it's three person.
All right,
wow.
Cool.
Oh wow, we're gonna have some fun here. Let me
All right, who's the model like? Who's the model like at the 101?
Well, the model really uses a lot of ADP input, so we're really off. So let me just take a look here.
Oh man.
Well, we gotta go to we gotta get a Ranger up. So definitely one of these damn Rangers for sure.
You think? Well, you could do this Zibanejad and hope Panarin comes.
Yeah,
back.
we want Zibanejad, no doubt.
Yeah. Do we think center is? Yeah. All right. You know what? I kind of like Kirill tonight, but let's do it.
He's definitely like you can. It's either him or like those Zibanejad and Kirill are the 1 and 2. So
all right, I like it.
Or you can take Igor at the 1 or 2, which honestly I guess isn't too bad in the 3 person, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, look at that start. That Kirill Robertson. That sounds so nice.
Fuck. That'd be
nice. Cool. That is nice.
Yeah, Igor is going early.
The nice thing about him taking Igor though is that like we don't have to worry about the tendies now because we're good either way, you know?
True.
So like we'll just take whichever tendy, I guess.
Yeah, we definitely don't want the Canucks tendy. That's all we know. All right, cool. We get Panarin. That's a
nice little Rangers stack there. You love to see it. And then should we take Adam Fox too? Like defense feels like it gets a little thin tonight.
Yeah, no, Adam Fox is always like going to be like one of the better defenders on the ice or in these contests. So I don't mind. I don't mind taking him. Bro, I know everything.
Defenders on the ice.
He's a defenseman.
He's defense. Yeah. Nice offensive-minded defenseman there. We get PP1 all locked up. What a start.
Jeez,
what a start.
Damn,
people are clamoring right now. This team's nice. One thing I will say though about the Canucks, the fear with the Canucks is that they have a lot of centers that you can like put together. Whereas like I think wing is going to get a little thin tonight.
Do they have anybody on wing that we might want? Just to
like just Besser, but it's like a pretty big tier break just in general. I'm just thinking about like, this Matt Boldy guy. Remember he was popping the other night.
Boldy was good.
Yeah,
what about Kreider? Did he go?
Kreider went.
Yeah, Kreider went.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boldy was cool.
I'm trying to scroll down.
JT Miller.
Yeah, Millar is always he's always viable. Always viable.
You want Boldy over Miller?
Well, we could take both.
Okay.
I was thinking, hold on, let's see here.
Boldy's a great pick, by the way. That's a great pick.
Boldy, yeah, I don't really like his line mates though. I'm not really about that.
But it's all him.
Boldy's on that PP1. We could take Erickson, Joel Erickson-Ek.
You're gonna have to do something fast. Carlos said take Tyler Sengun. I think it's just because he sees the last name.
Sagan.
There's too many. Well, first off, the other Sengun is actually pronounced Shengun. And then it is Sagan.
He's not. He's Sagan. Tyler Sagan.
Yeah, but Carlos is doing a bit. I think he called him Sengun to be a funny guy. Wow, this team is so nice.
Yeah, there you go. Brett Boy knows what's up. Sagan.
Brett Boy knows ice, so
he's touched it.
Yeah, he spelled it.
Draft a flyer. Last time we drafted a flyer, Kaneki.
Kaneki
0.5 points, baby.
Oh my god! But Brett Boy, I think didn't Brett Boy have a lot of? Oh no, that was Ben Hunley. He had like 30% Kaneki as well. So process was there.
Yeah, I think we got a really nice start here with this. Like, I think this 3 Rangers is going to be kind of rare here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to show this to DJ and see what he thinks.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. And then Matt Boldy will capitalize on the hype train of 3 days ago, and then JT Miller doesn't need line mates to score.
That's what we're telling ourselves.
We're telling ourselves little half breakaway. He's had a bad year.
Has he?
Yeah, that's great, Bob.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting. Is that Phillip?
Yeah.
We feeling all right about that? I guess we have to because we
can't go Spencer Martin against all these Rangers.
No, that'd be the worst. Worst. We're not going to win on just shots on goal.
All right, we'll click this guy. Man, at least we didn't fucking draft Connor Garland or Brock Besser. Like, those are tragic picks. Those guys stink.
What?
Connor Garland is dust. Like,
we gotta do one more.
Connor Garland, all he does is like little like spinoramas and looks like he's working really hard, but like doesn't actually benefit the game at all.
He's a skate merchant. Like,
God. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, look at him trying so hard. He's so shifty. And if you don't know shit about puck, you're just like, oh yeah, look at him trying so hard. This is such a good player. He's terrible.
What? Who is this again?
Connor Garland.
Connor Garland, ass.
Yeah, not my guy.
Where's Pedersen at in these ranks? Like
Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
He's behind Joe Pavelski here. Yeah, this is the man who won the hardest shot at the shot comp there. And
that's sick.
I got a nugget. I got a Pedersen nugget here.
Okay.
They switched up the power play when Bo Horvat left. So Elias Pettersson is a left-handed shot on the right side. So you set up like kind of like this little like umbrella, right?
Yeah.
You set him up for like the one-timer, but they always had JT Miller on the other side, who was also a lefty, but on the right-hand side. So he would have to turn his body instead of shooting to like, you get what I'm saying?
Well,
so
I thought the other guy was on the right-hand side.
No, Pedersen's on the, on the right wing. Yes, sorry. So he was a lefty on the left side. So to like make that cross ice pass, like everyone kind of knew where he was going with it, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
So now they've put JT Miller in front of the net in Bo Horvat's spot now that he's gone, and then they're utilizing the Russian kid. I can't remember his name right now.
Zibanejad or J-Rob, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's switch it up. Let's
Okay.
take J-Rob this time because we did that last time. What's the Russian kid? I can't remember his name. Anyways, whatever. He's on the other side, and he's right-handed
Kuzmenko?
now. Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Brett Boy threw that in there.
There, yeah. Kuz, big Kuz.
Nice.
So now he's on the other side. So now that he's open, there's like a more easily distributable, like kind of like channel, opposed to like having his like body turned. I don't know. Just
no. I mean that's definitely a problem. I would think, right? So like ideally, you want like if somebody's shooting the stick lefty, you want them on the right hand side. It sounds like.
Yeah, you want them like open.
What about
for like
Igor?
the one timers?
Is he head and shoulders because like he's heavily favored and he's the GOAT?
Sure.
I don't know if it's a fit. I don't know if it's a fish move, but
I think it's kind of a fish move, but I don't know. The other thing is like the majority of players that you're left with late kind of tends to be Vancouver. So then like
okay.
Yeah, like Willis took probably who we should have taken and taken like hints with Robertson there, I guess.
Okay. To Kaprizov, he took Kaprizov 101, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't take Pedersen. Zabinajad's gone.
We could take Pedersen as like a one-off and then like have like a slight negative correlation, but like they get a lot of shots, but it doesn't feel great.
Or Zuccarello.
Where was Zook?
Right there.
All right. Let's take Zuccarello.
All right. A little run back on the ice. It works the same way.
Yeah.
little
run back. They scare. Zuccarello is so small, but his stick is so long. It's pretty comical.
What is the benefit of that? That is so funny. A little extra whip. Yeah, let me see what else.
All right, here we go. Let's see who else we got here. So Zooks, we could maybe mix in a little like Ryan Hartman, but I don't think Hartman plays on the PP.
Doesn't look like it. It's
no, he's on PP2 there.
You think Boldy will make it back, or did we get really lucky with the last one? I think he made it.
All right, we'll take Boldy. Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
whatever, man. Can't run the risk. We can't run the risk of Willis wanting to like double up with Kirill there, right? We definitely
just sniped him. We sniped him for sure.
We want that Boldy exposure.
We know.
Oh man, yeah, there you go. So he takes Hartman, the two other Minnesota guys.
Do we want to go center or do we want this Trouba?
I don't think we really care about Trouba. I think
maybe Miro with the Dallas.
Taking Heiskanen and mixing him with like the PP1 there with Robertson.
All right, now let's find ourselves a center.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a scroll down kind of day for this center.
You think?
I don't know. Let's see. What do we think about line combos?
Why did GA say Chidel? Is that just like a Minnesota Wild dude or something?
I don't know.
I've never heard of him.
Dude, we could take Joe Pavelski. He's a winger, but he's listed as a center. We could add him in PP1. Then, like, just like making the bet that like Hintz isn't the guy that you need. That feels good.
I like the fact that he has that positional.
Fuck, Brett Boy took Pavelski. Damn it. Tyler Seguin. Tie a bow on it all. Tie a bow on it all with Tyler Seguin.
Sengun, baby. Let's go.
Dude, I don't even see Seguin on here.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah. Man. Seguin was like a 101 guy, too. There's some crazy stories about Seguin, though. Like,
wait, well, really?
Yeah, like he was a party animal.
Oh, I can see it in his eyes. I'm looking at him right now. I can tell this dude partied. You can absolutely tell.
He was a party animal to like the point in which when he was in Boston, they had to have like a dude waiting in the hallway outside of his room on the road to make sure like he didn't go out for like the night and like stuff like that. Go pick up a bag or something like that. Like they were worried about him, man. These are the stories, man. I'm not making this shit up.
I believe it. That's just, oh my God. You can just tell, like, it's just, you can just see it in his eyes. Like, yeah, this dude can, you want to hang with this guy.
Yeah, he seems like a party animal. He seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate everybody hanging in there, testing out Nez's model for Puck. We got 40 of us still jamming. Beautiful to see. Hit that thumbs up on your way out the door. We will do a little bit more of the big game stuff. Getting jacked up for Super Bowl here. Getting jacked up for it a little bit. With the media day underway, getting some more practice report stuff. We will talk some more big game in the next 2 days here. Hopefully have a guest or two to talk big game. Baseball chat is popping. Interesting. Love to see it. We will be talking tons of baseball. Tons of baseball is coming our way. Your guys' way. And our way. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll end her off there. And
sorry, they weren't kidding.
there's
There's a ton of messages. Sorry, I just saw. Thanks, GA. I appreciate you saying something nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a pool party.
Yeah, you love it. All right, we're going to the pool party tonight. Dive in on that Wobnesday, as I call it, around here, and put the Puck model to use tonight. Good luck to everybody in the streets. Nez, anything to add?
No, I don't think so. I'll be in Dingers, so come hang out in the Dinger lobbies if you wanna draft some ball.
Beautiful, love to see it. On behalf of myself, Numi, and Nez, everybody's favorite time of the show. Good luck in the streets tonight. The end.